Hello everyone, so this is a follow-up on the regrind of the Spyderco Pacific Salt in H1 with serrated edge. I have described the technique the way I was going to do this in the previous video where I was like halfway through. Here the regrind is done the way I approximately wanted to have it done, and I would just make a short, say a few words about it, how it went, and in the next short video I will do some cutting. So this is just talking. What one can see here, first of all, I got quite a few scratches. This happened when I slipped off the Vinev stone on the edge of the corner of the Vinev stone, and I didn't realize it soon enough, so I created quite a few scratches on the blade. Now you can see the regrind is finished. One thing that's obvious, the serrations are not quite as aggressive as they were. They are more mellow, they're more shallow. They don't hang now as much as they did before. I think this might be now closer maybe to something like a serrated Andela or something when it comes to the shape of the serrations. They are much taller because since I went up to 12 degrees in angle, obviously I have pushed up the edge of the grind. You can see now this not very attractive looking structure of rings or lines. This is as once I was done with the grind on this 150 grit diamond stone, I switched to first brown rods and then white rods and tried to, well, take out at least most of those scratches in there. I'm not sure I can zoom deep enough. And I was changing the angle from 12 to all the way to 18 degrees just by a degree and trying to go through the whole bevel. Obviously the result is far from perfect. This could be done better, maybe with some different tool, because this is not quite as hard as the stones, but at least I took out the scratches and now the bevels are relatively smooth, so they don't cause unnecessary drag. I did the tip separately. It was done very quickly, I think in like maybe 10 minutes, even less. So the tip doesn't look too great either. I went with 15 or 16 degrees until I got to the edge, and then I just applied a micro bevel. This knife is already sharpened. It has a micro bevel done at 20 degrees, which, given the scratch pattern on the bevels, you can't really see it. It's of course very narrow. It's a fraction of a millimeter. It is very easy to touch up the knife now. I did some first cutting tests. The knife cuts really well, but I will do a little bit more cutting over the cardboard and see whether one can actually see a difference in performance. What should I add? I'm really curious. This was more of an experiment. I'm not saying that this is something everyone should do to their knife. It really depends on how you use your knife and how you prefer your edge. I was simply curious what I would be able to achieve, and I think it worked pretty well. I'm happy that I got serrations that are not quite as deep, not quite as pointy, because I will be getting less catching on the cardboard. But I think it would also not make sense to go too much a more shallow angle. I think at around 10 degrees when it's going to start to actually hit the upper part of the concave grind, so there would be not much sense to go to that angle. One could do that, but I don't think that would bring much. At some point, if one is too aggressive about this, one could simply turn this hollow grind to a flat grind, which would of course go higher. I don't really see the point of doing that, and one probably have to do it on the both sides so the knife doesn't steer too much. I don't plan to go there. I think I'm going to stay with this grind for this knife and see how it cuts and how it performs. So this is how it looks. This is the final result. Let's see what it does, how it cuts. Thank you for watching.